Okay, we're gonna take a look now at the best tech, and this one's by Android Authority. So let's dive right into it. Oh my god, I thought this was Ian from Smosh. Am I? He kind of looks like him, right? At least the face.
I'm here at CES 2025 hunting for the best
Scott
products
Brown.
that this show has to offer. That is a monumental task because this show is massive. It is the biggest consumer electronics show in the world.
Shout out to the editor.
Thousands upon thousands of products to see. But we were determined, so we went and narrowed it down to 16 of the best of CES 2025 across smartwatches, smartphones, tablets, and more. So let's jump right in with the best products at CES 2025. Yeah. We are Android Authority after all, so of course one of our favorite things from this show was the Android phone, the TCL 60 XE Next Paper 5G.
That camera looks a little, I don't know.
Name, but it's a really simple phone. It has this unique thing on it, which is the Next Paper key. When you tap this key, you go into what's called Max Ink mode, which is a battery-saving e-ink style mode for the display. This allows you to, of course, save a lot of battery power, but also read things a lot better, just like you would on something like
it's like mixing
Amazon
a Kindle.
The TCL 60
yeah,
XE
exactly.
Next Paper 5G is also incredibly cheap.
I don't like the
just
camera
$200,
though. I don't know.
And it's coming to the United States, which is a first for any TCL phone with a Next Paper key.
Also, the screen
in the US.
looks
a
matte.
A really exciting product this year was the Lenovo Legion Go, powered by SteamOS. We've seen plenty of gaming handhelds launched over the past year since we saw the Steam Deck launch.
I heard you'll be able to download SteamOS on different handheld consoles as well. So, I don't know.
That's not a Steam Deck.
Step aside, Windows.
Who really like the idea of the Steam Deck, but don't quite like the design of the Steam Deck itself. For example, if you like offset sticks, the Steam Deck.
Personally, that is the only issue I have with the Steam Deck is I don't know. I feel like it's too chunky for me. It's too big. Whereas like a handheld like the ROG Ally I would, if someone held two consoles to me and be like, okay, ROG Ally or the Steam Deck, I would go for the ROG Ally because that's more of my style. That's what I like. But I just feel like the Steam Deck, even though my brother says it's like super comfortable and nice, I don't know. Every time he comes here to visit, I try to play on it, but it's just too big and it feels heavy as hell. I don't know. But yeah.
Deck doesn't have offset sticks, but the Lenovo Legion Go S does. So now you have.
Can you change the color of the RGB?
That SteamOS experience. Companies love to launch concept products at CES, and we saw that from XGimi with its unique Ascend product. This is basically a piece of furniture that can turn into a complete home theater system, complete with a rising projector screen, a projector built into the unit itself, and 2 sets of Harman Kardon speakers.
That is actually cool.
A concept product though, so don't expect to be able to buy this.
I thought it was only the projector screen.
Sometimes those concept
but it's pretty cool that it comes
products. So stay tuned for that one. Smart rings have been all the rage over the past few years, especially with Samsung finally stepping in with the Galaxy Ring.
Yeah.
But one of the coolest things we saw here at CES 2025 was the Circular Ring 2. Now this looks like just any other smart ring, but
what does it do though?
All the others, which is a digital sizing system. That's right. Instead of ordering a physical kit to figure out how big of a ring you should buy, you can now do it digitally right on your smartphone. This is a huge step forward for the smart ring market, and we're really excited about seeing how well Circular does on the market up against the other players such as...
The thing with rings, for me at least, like, yeah, I love rings, okay? I fucking love rings, don't get me wrong. But just wearing something... just a piece of technology, right, that has basically no physical functionality. It's just digital. Like, I don't want to wear something, have to open up an app just to see what it's tracking and everything. Like, if it had, like, I don't know, if it had like I feel like if it had like a screen or something where like if you get it would be the Apple Watch, or I mean a smart watch, but a smart like on the ring. I would be more intrigued by it, but I don't know. I don't know.
Such as Samsung, and of course,
I just
the Aura
prefer to
Ring.
wear
Next up, we
just a
have two
regular ass
products that are
ring
getting
then.
one award, which is the OnePlus 13 and the OnePlus 13R. Now, these phones didn't officially launch at CES because they actually launched in
These
China back
clunky
in
ass
December,
cameras,
but they
man.
went global here at CES. These are stupendous flagship phones, with the OnePlus 13 packing pretty much everything you could want from a premium Android
You
phone.
might as well
Meanwhile,
make
the
it
OnePlus
so that you
13R
can
has
add
last
like
year's
lens
chipset, the
to a
Snapdragon
phone like
8
that.
Gen 3, and a couple of reduced specs to keep the price down, but it's going to have a flagship-like experience for a much lower price.
That'd be the
OnePlus
only thing
13 and the
that would
OnePlus
get me to
13R are
buy a
available
phone
now, so
with
be sure to check them out. CES
that
is
big of
always
a
filled with
fucking
tons of
circle
televisions,
on
but
the
only
back,
a few
dude.
actually stood out at this show, and one of them was LG's 4K True Wireless QNED TV. Now,
QNED?
we've seen True Wireless TVs before. A True Wireless
OLED,
TV has a box
LED,
that you plug everything
and now
into, and then it
ONED,
beams all the
QNED?
information to the
What?
TV, allowing you to not have to plug directly into the television. The television still has power, so it has one cable, but everything else is just beamed to it wirelessly. The QNED TV is the first time LG has brought this wireless technology to a lower price TV.
That's
instead of its
cool,
very, very
but
high-end OLED TVs.
what if
It's
it
also
gets
the first time that you
interrupted?
can
What
put
if-
the box inside or underneath furniture and still get a crystal clear wireless reception between it and the television. The LG 4K True Wireless QNED TV is going to be available soon, so be sure to check it out.
I'd
if
have
you're
to
looking
look
for a new
more
television.
into it.
We didn't see too many tablets here at CES 2025, but we did see one, which was the TCL Nextpaper 11 Plus. This is very notable because it's the first product from TCL with Nextpaper 4.0, which is the latest iteration of its very unique anti-glare display technology. TCL showed us that the display is crisper, has better
Again,
contrast
like,
ratio, and has more
yeah,
vibrant
I
colors
feel
than
like the
ever
tablet
before,
is better
which is
than the
really exciting
phone.
because although the anti-glare display
But, like,
technology is
nobody-
super cool, it does tend to mute the colors a little bit.
Like-
but this tablet looks better than ever. We are super excited to see this hit the market, but unfortunately TCL wouldn't tell
You
us
gotta,
when it's
I
coming
feel
out,
like
nor how much
I
it would
gotta
cost.
read
But stay
manga
tuned
or
because I'm
like
sure we're gonna
get
find out that information
into
in the
books
next
to
few
own
weeks. Some things
something
happen
like
at
that.
CES that you just think, wow, that is super cool, and this is one of them. This is the Roborock Saros Z70. So on the outside, it looks just like any other robo vacuum that you've seen, but it has a robotic arm that comes out of the top. This robotic arm can pick up big objects and move them around. AI can even identify what that object is so it can put it in the right place. For example, it
Ooh.
can pick up a sock and put it into the hamper because it knows that's where socks are supposed to go. Of course, it is still just a robot vacuum, so it still cleans
But can
and
it-
mops and does
can
all the
it
things you would
extend?
expect a robot
Like,
vacuum
does
to
it
do.
extend
But that
far?
robotic arm certainly is cool. We don't know how much this
'Cause
is
that
going
looks
to
like a
cost,
small
but
ass
I can
arm.
guarantee you it's going to be expensive. When you're wandering the show floor here at CES, you're often looking for those life-changing products, the things that are going to change the world. Sometimes you do that and you forget to look for the fun stuff. And this next product is super fun. It's the Go-V Gaming Pixel Light. So this is basically a light bright, but for the 21st century. It plays animations and GIFs at 30 frames per second in this cool little 8-bit style graphics. You can load it with all sorts of things that you want, and you can also customize it so that it syncs up with your wider smart home. This is a really fun device that would look great on any gamer's desk.
That's
Way
cool.
back in
That's cool. It looks like a screen. It just looks like a small screen that you can play pixel art on. You can kind of do that anyways with a regular monitor. I don't know what distinguishes that from just a small ass monitor. I don't know. Like, I gotta look into it because I know they do sell like something that isn't just a screen, but an actual thing that you can change. Like, I don't know how I feel about. I don't
2022,
know.
we saw a concept device from Lenovo that was
Pretty-
a laptop
pretty cool,
with a
though, I guess.
rollable display.
As
well,
a,
wouldn't you know
like,
it, here in 2025, we actually
decoration?
have a real version of that product that you can buy today. It's the Lenovo ThinkBook Plus Gen 6 rollable.
Whoa.
It starts out looking like a pretty standard 14-inch laptop, but with the hit of a button, the laptop's display extends upward to 16.7 inches, making it much bigger and a lot
That
more
is
screen real
cool.
estate for coding and word processing or whatever you want to do. Unfortunately,
It looks
to get
weird,
this
but
product,
it's
you're gonna have
cool.
to spend a lot of money. It starts at, wait for it, $3,500. So you better be very dedicated to having that rollable display if you want to get this. But if you've got that money lying around,
Just
Lenovo
buy
ThinkBook Plus Gen 6
just
is
buy
available
a
now.
better
The
laptop
Hisense
with an
L9Q
external monitor.
Trichroma TV is a
I'm sorry,
laser television.
$3,500
Now,
is
laser
insane.
is a unique division within the TV market that hasn't really gained much traction because most people are getting LCD or mini LED or OLED or whatever. But laser is coming up, and Hisense is betting
looks
big that
super
this is going to be
saturated.
the brand new thing that people are going to want in the future. The TV is enormous and beautiful and super, super bright. We fell in love with the Hisense TV, and we think you'll fall in love with it too, but be prepared, it's going to be pricey. I know that robot vacuums aren't super exciting, but I promise this one is. This
Seems
is
to be the
SwitchBot
current
K20
reoccurring
Plus
theme.
Pro. So if you'll remember the K10 Plus Pro from last year, it was this tiny little robot vacuum that could get into the places that your bigger robot vacuum couldn't. Well, SwitchBot has taken that robot vacuum and expanded on it a lot by adding in mods. So using this Fusion platform, it goes on top of the smaller vacuum and then allows it to do other functions. One thing you can do with the Fusion platform is put an air purifier on top of it. This would turn your robot vacuum into a mobile air purifier, meaning you could have one air purifier but still air purify your entire home instead of having to have one in each room. So that's a really great idea. You could also put a security camera onto it, making like a roving security sentry for your home. And SwitchBot is encouraging people to do 3D printed projects with this.
Yeah, maybe if you live in a
pretty much do
goddamn
anything
mansion,
now
dude.
with this robot vacuum. Of course,
But
it
like-
still is a robot vacuum, so it's still going to clean and do all those things. But the real fun of this product is the creativity that it allows. This next one is for all you gamers out there. It is the Samsung Odyssey,
the Odyssey.
G6 OLED.
Damn.
This is a beautiful gaming monitor, but the kicker is that it is 500 hertz. That's right.
500
It's not 120
hertz?
hertz, not even 240 hertz. It is 500 hertz, and it's the first gaming OLED.
You know,
monitor
everyone-
with that
everyone
ability. This
playing
is going to be
FPS
really
games are
expensive,
gonna-
just like
are gonna
all
buy
other
an
Samsung
Odyssey now.
monitors. But if you're a
Holy
gamer who
shit,
values
500
having a
hertz,
crispy,
dude?
super fast refresh rate display, then this is going to be at the top of your list. For all you fitness people out there, we have a brand new smartwatch from Garmin, the Garmin Instinct 3. Now, it looks a lot like the other Garmin Instincts that we've seen before, but now there are two versions of it. You can go with the old monochrome display with solar charging, which is super
I
cool
like that
because
color
you
scheme.
really never need to charge
That
your
was
smartwatch.
pretty sick.
But you now have the option to get an AMOLED display instead, which is full color. So you have these choices.
Dang.
You get the same watch, but with different types of displays for
I don't
different
mind
types
this
of people.
actually. Is that
Of
the
course,
only
you're not
color
gonna get
scheme
a
they got?
touchscreen on either one. If you want touchscreens, you're going to have to upgrade to more expensive Garmin watches. But if you really like the Instinct
That
line,
kinda
but
sucks.
didn't quite like that monochrome display, guess what? The Garmin Instinct 3 gives you that option. Time Kettle makes these really cool earbuds that can do instant translations in over 40 languages. When you hear the translation as you're having a conversation with a human in front of you, it sounds natural, which is really, really cool. So what Time Kettle
I
has
get a
done here
bunch
at
of
CES
ads for this
2025
product
is announced
here.
Babel OS, which is going to use AI, of course, to do all sorts of new things with its products. The best part about Babel OS is that you don't need to buy a new product to get it. That's because Babel OS is coming to all Time Kettle products automatically. So if you're already in the Time Kettle ecosystem, stay tuned because
They're not
Babel OS
gonna
is coming your way.
force
When
you
it
to
comes
get a
robot vacuums,
subscription.
sometimes you need something super powerful to get
That's
up those really tough stains.
cool if that's
and
the case.
Eureka J15 Max Ultra might just be that. It comes with a whopping 16,200 pascals of suction power, which is pretty high for a robot vacuum. It also comes in at under $1,000, which is really notable because a lot of the robot vacuums that we see at big shows like this end up being super expensive. So you can get an ultra powerful robot vacuum for a relatively low price. That's a wrap for CES 2025.
Dang,
And we were super
okay.
excited to see
I'm
all
not
the
gonna
cool
lie.
stuff at this show.
I was expecting way more cooler things. Don't get me wrong. They were fun and kind of cool, but a lot of them were kind of like underwhelming to me at least. I don't know. Like we seen a robot with attachments. We see like a robot vacuum with attachments. What else did we see? We seen a watch with a pretty cool color scheme, but no touchscreen. A ring that you need to rely heavily on the app to use. The only things I would say from this video are the it would have to be the monitors. Well, the 500 hertz monitor. That's crazy. Holy. I wonder how different it is from like the Max now that the consumers can get to 500 hertz. But yeah, cool. That is the coolest tech that we saw in CES 2025. Pretty sure there's other tech that is probably cooler but was left out. But that is it for CES 2025. I'm gonna move on.